I'm ready. Is anybody here? Has anybody joined me for gaming and slop? Oh yeah, too. I have to switch between my two hard drives. All right, ready. What is Blockuza? Why Blockuza? Who's blocking who? We're not gonna play Yakuza on stream. We're gonna start with Shenmue, okay? That is where we're going to start. Oh, hold on. Team is having a hard time seeing SUIKODEN, actually. Hello, Polyphonica. Oh. Well, you should throw. Isn't the answer to enemies blocking just to throw them or something in fighting games? Not just an odd thing where the enemies block too much compared to the other. Yeah? Okay. Guess we're going to watch some of the Slop. Because the game is still preparing. Where is the YouTube?
Why do you support?
I guess we're going to watch Slop about, I know, wait. I had pretty good Slop prepared. Wow. The other box is seeing some lower viewership. Alright, let's watch some Slop. The enemies block too much. Alright, is it ready? Am I ready?
Donald Trump.
I don't know. I think he's just a better option than Kamala.
How so?
I think he has better values,
Such as?
such as like, especially like deportation. I like deportation. I live in
Okay.
Minnesota, so I support the ICE movement.
What the fuck? Imagine saying that. I live in Minnesota too, especially now. Imagine saying that. That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. I live in Minnesota, so I so I support ICE. Deportation isn't a value. True.
Other than Minnesota, so you do disagree? You think that they committed?
What do you mean?
Do you think that the ICE agents committed today?
I think it was justified.
You think it was justified? What was the justification?
Oh my god, imagine trying to justify the recent actions of ICE. Insane. But you know, insane people exist, so we're gonna hear the justification in a moment. I assume we're going to have some brilliant, completely logical explanation to all of this. Okay?
He had a.
Okay, well, he was already disarmed by the time they shot.
Well, we don't know yet. The body cam footage is not out
We
yet.
do know, actually, because we have multiple different angles
Yeah, we
from
do.
all around them that indicate that to be true. So you're just lying. We do have the information
No.
to indicate that. There is enough evidence to say that they were already disarmed. So explain to me. And also, by the way, having a is not justification to do that to you, as he was a licensed owner with a permit to carry. It was legal to carry,
Yeah.
and he's a U.S. citizen.
Nah,
The Second Amendment does not count when, I don't know, when you're a protester or something.
I don't know. I think that if you go at an ICE agent and you are
And you
resist-
carry, then you should be shot. Like, it don't matter who you are. If you resist an ICE agent, your life is forfeit. Those are the Trump bootlickers that voted for him.
thing, just like do what they say. You're not gonna get
He
shot.
didn't go at an ICE agent. And by the way, in the circumstance, going at an ICE agent doesn't mean you get shot unless you
Yeah, you
are-
should be able to resist actually without being shot.
unless our officer is in a circumstance where they have a reasonable fear, right, of lethal force being used against them, right, or someone else, or severe bodily harm against them or someone else, then they have no justification to even reach for them. And again, since they were not armed, because they were disarmed, that means that they had no reason to believe that, with especially the amount of agents they had that were literally dragging them on the ground.
Do you think that if you were one of the ICE agents and okay, let's just say we don't know.
Would
what
you have
happened yet. I don't know. If I see a
No, I'll just tell you, if I was
Oh, they took away the gun, by the way, before shooting.
one of the agents, which I never would be, I wouldn't have shot. Want to know why? Because I'm not stupid. I'm not evil, okay? I'm not stupid and
about
evil.
you.
And that's what people do when they're stupid and evil. They act as the way that the ICE agents are.
evil,
And
wow.
it's literally evil to U.S. citizens in broad daylight that were posing no threat to the agents at all. Absolutely, that is wrong. Are you
can I
sitting
ask
here right now and you're so America first that you think it's justified to literally U.S. citizens in broad daylight? Pro-life of you, by the way.
I hate the censorship. I hate the cowardly censorship, but I guess it is what it is if you want to monetize on YouTube.
No, I mean,
Apparently, YouTube goes again after you when you use the word gun. I'm not going to censor it. I'm not a coward.
I am
I
pro-life.
can obviously tell that.
Okay, can I just ask you a question? Do you support ICE at all?
No,
So I don't
I don't support ICE at all.
support ICE. We had border enforcement prior to ICE. We can enforce the border and specifically focus on those that have committed violence.
The fact that ICE even exists is ridiculous. What is the purpose of ICE actually? Apart from what they're doing now, murdering civilians and brutalizing citizens.
Crimes and bad crimes. Without ICE, ICE is acting as a secret police force right now. Literally, without
It's not really all that secret, by the way. It's brown shirts. It's not really a secret police force. If it's just open, if it's just... How secret is it if it just operates in the streets openly and shoots civilians, okay? Not really a secret police at that point.
accountability. Okay? They're violating people's due process rights. We have no need for ICE. We had border enforcement prior to ICE. We'll be completely fine. We'd actually be better off without them. Okay? And it'll be easier for border enforcement to focus on those that are actually a threat to the safety and security of our communities if they're not focusing over 70% of their time detaining those that have no prior criminal record, over 95% of their time detaining those that have no prior violent criminal record, and also U.S. citizens. Okay? So if ICE wasn't spending all of their time U.S. citizens doing video ops for the TikToks of the Trump administration in the White House, right, and literally causing...
I have no clue how he could justify the murder by ICE.
An incredible amount of harm targeted towards communities in this country and racially profiling. Maybe they'd have time to focus on the actual right in the country that are literally pardoned by the Trump administration.
I'm sorry. Hey, where do you live? I'm not really sure. Like, what state you live in? Can you tell me that real quick? California. Like what city?
LA.
You live in LA, really? Like downtown, or?
I live in LA County. I'm not gonna say where I live in LA County.
Oh yeah, I know, I got you, but I don't know. It's a lot different. Do you have a lot of Somali community members down there? Or?
Yeah, do you have a lot of those evil immigrants? You know, if you have a lot of Somali immigrants or any sort of immigrants, then it completely justifies ICE actions and it completely justifies citizens being shot by ICE. Did you not know that? How is that even relevant?
I don't count who of my neighbors is...
Like, how is that irrelevant in the slightest when it comes to the subject of citizens being shot by ICE?
From Somalia. Like what?
I'm just going to say, like, I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and ever since a couple years ago, there's been a lot more Somalis and a lot more violence in my community.
Wait. Why are you associating people who are Somali with violence?
Well, it's just pattern recognition. You know, I see them down the street and they're
pattern recognition. Okay. So I have a question. Do you think that due to pattern recognition, right, that we would be justified in believing that every Trump supporter is stupid?
No, I wouldn't consider myself stupid.
Well, not only are you, but we would be justified in doing that, not only because on average MAGA supporters have a lower IQ, but practically everyone that comes up on this stream who's a MAGA supporter is an absolute idiot.
True.
So would you say all MAGA supporters are low IQ?
Are like me?
Are all low IQ members or what?
I'm obviously not low IQ in the way that you're referencing, but if you want to say, are all the Trump supporters low IQ? Not every single one. Not every single one, but a hell of a lot of them.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
I mean...
How do you... Okay. One more question for you right here. So... if you were living around like Minneapolis and all of a sudden you've been living here for your whole life and it's been a nice neighborhood, you know, you've been living your whole life here.
Yeah, and suddenly all those immigrants from jails and mental asylums come here and want to be trans.
And all of a sudden...
what would you do?
You know, some old people, you know, they live in the houses around you and they get old and they die, and then all of a sudden...
they get old and die. What a way to describe the situation. You have all those old people around you in houses, then they grow old and die.
Move in, they trash the houses, they are loud all the time, they are causing violence, there's police over there all the time. And you can assume the kind of people they are.
How about this? Let me pause this real quick.
I'm just going to say they are from...
I have a question. Would you prefer society that's 100% white, right, that treats you horribly, or would you prefer...
You see my point of view here.
Hold up. Would you prefer society that's 100% white that treats you horribly, or would you prefer society that's non-white that treats you very well?
Sorry, say that again. It cut out.
Would you prefer society that's 100% white that treats you horribly, or society that is 100% non-white that treats you amazing?
Well, I think you could have both of the same. I mean, you can have...
Answer the question. One or the other. Answer the question.
What was the question again?
Oh my God.
Would you rather have a society that's 100% white,
not meeting the accusations of being stupid,
and treats you horribly, or a society that's 100% non-white and treats you very well?
Well, that's the stupidest question I've ever heard, because obviously you would say the second one, but that's not going to happen.
So obviously the society that obviously,
so to clarify, you're not going to get treated well.
So to clarify, obviously the society that treats you very well, that is non-white, correct?
Well, yeah, obviously, but that's not happening.
So it has nothing to do with one's skin color as a reason as to why you would specifically care. It's totally based upon behavior. So instead of specifically referencing people who are... So be quiet real quick. Let me please finish. So instead of specific,
Everyone's a every streamer is a pervert. Let me finish, okay? Why would you say that? Okay, I'm not gonna.
just trying to reference people who are Somali as a whole,
He just wants to finish.
how about you say, I disagree with certain types of behaviors that people engage in, and based upon those certain types of behaviors, I would like to hold them accountable, which means that you'd have a certain
I
law,
would, yeah.
and you'd like to
agree.
enforce said law, meaning that, again, Donald Trump, you should hold him accountable for violating the law because he's a convicted criminal held civilly liable of woman that literally pardoned violent rioters who beat police officers and called them patriots, and you're totally okay with supporting him for president of the United States. But if all of those factors and characteristics were true about someone who's Somali, you would say that it's the end of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, because Trump's from the US, USA, and a Somali person is not from USA, and that makes all the difference, okay?
Well, I would say, I mean, if you're going down that route with the legal thing, a lot of these Somalis did break a law by coming here illegally.
Most people who are in the country who are Somali, specifically, are in
Especially
the country
Minnesota
legally,
are-
and actually they were born here. Most people who are Somali in the country were born here.
But were they born here legally?
Yeah, but their parents weren't, and that's the problem here. I think
So,
if they've come here illegally and they have kids, I mean, that's just a way to get around the legal system.
wait, there's no argument that their
we should hold
parents are
accountability for
illegally.
that.
Wait, what's your argument that their parents are illegally in the country?
Fields
Well, I
over
mean,
reels.
it's just a fact. you
It's just common sense. Yeah, exactly. Asmongold School of Politics.
know? I can tell.
What's your source?
These people do not speak English.
Common sense is my source. My knowledge of psychology and how people act. Incentives.
Hey, what's your
My
source?
neighbors,
What's your source?
my real life.
My real life. My lived experience is my source.
Okay, so trust me, bro.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, I lived through it.
Yeah.
If you don't-
Jesus Christ. I cannot believe it that he actually said, pretty much my sources, trust me, bro, with a straight
live
face.
my life, then I lived through it.
And by the way, I just want to let you know, I live in LA, and there are people that live in
Okay.
LA that speak different languages from me. How does that
really? I
meaningfully
didn't know
impact
that.
your life at all?
I mean, I could just tell. I mean, you said, how do you know if they're from a
I
different
can
country?
just tell. Zoshelik says, common sense, chat, just get in a little tingle and I know that I'm right. Yeah. It's just about knowing psychology and incentives and all that
They
stuff.
can't-
Answer the question, how does it meaningfully impact your life at all for people to speak different languages?
Well, you asked me. How do I know they came
Answer
here
my
legally?
question.
What's the question?
How does it
Still not beating the allegations, okay? Still not doing well when it comes to beating those allegations of stupidity.
negatively impact your life for people to speak other languages?
Sorry, you cut out again. My bad.
How does it negatively impact your life for people to speak other languages?
Well, you just do. You can just tell that it negatively impacts your life because you feel different than before.
Well, I mean, all right. Take the situation. If I'm going to Walmart and I need some help, and I'm asking where's the hand warmers, and she doesn't understand what I'm trying to say, I can't find the damn hand warmers.
What the fuck? What is this stupid situation?
Okay? You have never gone to Walmart and had that happen before. Shut the fuck up.
I have had that happen actually.
No, you
Multiple
haven't.
times.
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah. You can just ask a different what the fuck?
Multiple
No, you
times.
haven't.
Yes, I
Okay.
have.
So to
1 month
clarify,
ago, I
they
went to
didn't.
get a
So to
charger
clarify,
for
so to
my
clarify,
phone,
so to
and I
clarify,
asked the
they
guy-
didn't have a single person at the Walmart in the United States that spoke English.
No, but if you should be able to just go
No,
to up
they
to any
didn't.
worker there.
They
and
didn't have a
should be able to
single
speak
person
English.
there. Wait, to clarify, in the place where you live, there wasn't a single person at that Walmart that spoke English.
I mean, I'm sure there was, yeah, but that's not
So
what
there
I
was
said.
not only.
What the fuck is this example? This is so stupid. Again, not beating the allegation of all MAGA supporters being stupid. Koiteko says he got rejected by a Somali baddie and this has been his arc ever since. Yeah, his villain arc.
Only was
you're
there.
taking me out of
Not
context
only
now,
were there
that's not
people
what I
there that
said.
spoke English, but you could use the app. You absolute idiot. You could.
What the fuck is this? Yeah, well, I go into Walmart and I ask a person and they don't speak English. It's gonna mean that my world collapses and they'll have to be deported by ICE or shot.
Could look it up. You could use your
I
brain.
shouldn't have to though. What if I didn't
Yeah,
have a phone?
I shouldn't have to use my brain. There you go. Your typical MAGA supporter. I should not have to use my brain. Brilliant. I shouldn't have to though.
My phone
okay,
was
so-
dead.
That's gonna be the title of the video, okay? MAGA supporter. I should not have to use my brain. That is definitely the title. I wonder if this video is gonna do well. Is this clickbaity enough? MAGA. I should not have to use my brain.
Have devices there to look it up, genius.
Well, I should be able to ask a fellow human being. Oh, where's
There
the
were
charger?
people there that you could ask.
What if they refuse to tell you in English? Should they also be shot by ICE at that point? If they just refuse to tell you in English? That happens. Sometimes people just don't want to talk to you, even if they understand English.
Wait, by the way,
I don't know
there
how
were
to
people that
understand.
speak English there. Not only were there people that speak English there, but secondly, I just want to be very clear, right? Even if there weren't people that speak English there, that would just be representative of the community that they're in. Why would any business not have anyone who speaks English if a majority of their clientele speaks English? It would only be the case that would be true if a majority of their clientele did not speak English, where it made no sense to have people specifically that do speak that language there in the first place. So you want to know what would make most sense in that context? Either you learn the language, right, of the area where most people are speaking that language, right? Or you decide
Like,
to
they
go
should
to
give
a
you that.
different area where people speak the same language as you. That's your choice.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say I should do that or what? I
Either
should
learn
go to
the
a
either
place
learn the
and
language
their
or go
language
to
Oh
is
my God.
majority, like what they're doing here. We majority speak English, and they should come and learn our language.
Wait,
Kinda just
there
proved
are,
my
no,
point
no,
there.
you're not understanding. There are different areas in the country that disproportionately speak different languages.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, and in those communities, it would make sense to speak those languages, right?
Yeah, that would make sense.
Hello, Simon, Pierre Dubé. Simon, Slop Lucy. Yeah, I am Slop Lucy. But you've missed the politics, Lucy. Simon, you missed politics, Lucy, on the other channel.
You're kind of proving my
Okay,
point.
what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with having different communities within the United States that speak different languages, and that if people want to engage with other communities, right, they can do so.
It's
through
forbidden.
certain types of means, whether that be through the context of speaking the same language as everyone else within that area, Google Translate, technology, etc. You don't
You
have
said
to
by-
interact
by
with
learning their
everyone.
language.
I just want to clarify. You live in Minnesota, correct?
I do. Yep.
You're telling me you can't find a Walmart in Minnesota that's where people speak English?
I never said that. I'm sure you can.
Okay, so then stop complaining. It doesn't negatively impact your life at all.
Well, I shouldn't
You
have to
literally
go.
live in
I
Minnesota.
shouldn't have to use my brain.
In Iowa, stop complaining. You're a little snowflake. Like you live in an area where most people speak English. You're
Well.
gonna be
Hurts.
okay.
Well, I mean, it's not coming to that. You don't know. In 40 years, you might be full of Somalians who don't speak English.
Appreciate the galaxy. Thank you.
I guess at that point you'll just have to learn Somalian.
Okay. So again, a lot of people who are Somali do speak English. Actually, again, most people who are Somali were born in the country. Did you know that?
I mean, yeah, I see
I
what
already
you're saying.
told
As
you
far as
this.
birth rates, yeah.
I already told you this, and you didn't listen. Apparently.
What'd you say?
What the fuck?
Dude, are you listening to me?
I don't know what you're trying to ask me.
Then maybe
Again, MAGA supporters are stupid. And this person's the representative of the flock.
listen.
Is it a question? You asked me a question?
Yeah. Did you hear anything I said?
I guess not.
Okay. We'll start back again.
I do appreciate the attitude, though.
You're welcome. I mean, you do deserve it. You're literally saying that people who are Somali, right, shouldn't be in your particular state or shouldn't be in the area that you're in.
The new watch, but without short stack goblins? Yeah. It seems that way. Parker, get a job. 464,000 subscribers. A big content creator. Actually.
And you're saying that they were
It's
illegally.
the new watch, but without short. That we know of, by the way.
in the country when most of them were born in the U.S. and are legally in this country.
If they legally come here, okay, if their parents, okay, the ones that did illegally come here, are you saying there's no one
Wait,
that's
wait, wait,
coming
you
here
just
that's
wait. You
illegal?
just assumed
Because
that
there
most
is.
people who were born in the country who are Somali, their parents came illegally. What was your source?
Trust me, bro. That was the source.
Well, I just know this. I live in the communities. Do you live in the
He,
communities?
oh
where
wait,
this
chat.
happens?
I forgot.
know.
He's omniscient. He's omniscient. He has divine revelation from the Lord and Savior himself. Okay, can you actually give me an argument? What's your source?
Bro, I just know. I
just
know.
around you.
I just know you are stupid.
can talk
If
to
that's your
any of these
argument,
people.
genuinely stop right now. You actually think that you can source things of just saying "I just know" is a good source
Yeah.
of information?
Well,
If
if
the
you
source is that I made it the fuck up, don't you know that source?
were to come over here and see, you would 100% agree with me.
Okay. Well,
If
I know
only-
people who live in Minnesota that disagree with you.
If only you could just see what I see,
There
Yeah,
are
I'm sure
people
you
in the
do, 'cause
comment
you
section.
feel what I feel,
Hey, if you're from Minnesota and you disagree with the guest,
hear, feel, think. Don't you remember Final Fantasy 14 and its mantra?
type 3 in the comment section.
Hear, feel, think.
Oh, surprise. There's a lot of people in the comment section that live in Minnesota that disagree with
I
you.
doubt these people are from Minnesota.
Stop using the fact that you live in Minnesota as a shield in order to try and win the argument when you are clearly in the wrong. Push the journal.
Why I don't think I'm in the wrong. That's the only thing.
You clearly are.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say to you, dude.
So do you defend the happened today?
Apparently, yes, he does defend the shooting.
I mean, yeah, I would.
You would?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would.
Yeah, so then what threat did they pose towards the officers?
Okay, now we're back to this again. I mean, okay, you don't get the 100% understanding of what was happening. It's a tense situation. We don't have a body cam footage yet. It's not really.
Yeah, we have several angles of footage, and new footage just came out today. This is ridiculous. Okay, a tense situation. Every situation with an officer, with a federal officer, is tense. Okay, when the border patrol entered my apartment and and held me at gunpoint, that was a tense situation. Should I have been shot?
Yeah, we have three different cameras, but
We,
none
we,
of them
we, we
clearly
do
show.
have a bunch of different angles that we know that they were disarmed. We know that they were pepper sprayed. We know that they didn't have the ability
but
to reach towards
in
any.
this
We know that they didn't
situation,
reach
you know,
towards any.
all-
That there was no
if someone
condition that
yells
you could
gun-
sit there and say was justifiable, literally, to shoot them. How many
Yeah.
times they did? Are you kidding me? You don't have you don't have enough reason right now, based on all of the videos you've seen, all the different angles, to say that was blatant a U.S. citizen in broad daylight when they literally were not violating the law. Give me one justification you have for that, because right now you have literally nothing to sit up here and defend a U.S. citizen. Genuinely.
Yeah.
What is it? He spoke his mind. He disagreed with the ICE agents. What was the break of the law that justified him
Get a
being
gun.
murdered?
That's very interesting. I very interesting that there is a person that actually tries genuinely to defend it. But it is what it is.
Tell me. He was disarmed. And
Yeah.
not only was he disarmed, but he was a
Why
legal,
would you-
lawful
okay, why
owner
would you go to
with a
protest? I feel like
permit
that's just like-
to
that's-
open carry, or not to an
that's
open carry, to
asking for it
conceal carry.
happen, though.
Wait, they had the
Why would you
ability. They had a
resist
permit.
Also, apparently open carry is just illegal over there to begin with.
It's the
They had a
stupidest,
permit to
like, thing
carry.
any-
They
it's
were
the
a
stupidest
legal owner. They were a U.S. citizen. They didn't threaten the cops.
Yeah,
They
but it's
didn't
illegal
even
to resist
utilize it.
arrest.
They didn't reach for the. It was disarmed from them. Name one justification, because right now you've just sat up here on the
He's
live
resisting.
stream
He
and
was
justified
resisting. He had a
defending
gun.
the
What was gonna
of a
happen?
U.S. citizen. You're gonna sit here and say that you care about this country, that you're a patriot.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The patriotic thing is to purge all the undesirables.
That you're pro-America, while you sit here defend a U.S. citizen with no justification,
That's
that literally,
contrary,
based upon the Second Amendment, had the ability to have that.
Second Amendment only is only for true patriots. Through MAGA loving patriots, not, I don't know, rebel scum.
and was completely disarmed before the shooting happened. You don't care about America. You are the least patriotic individual in this country if you were
Okay,
to
can
sit
I
here
ask you something?
and defend the murder of a U.S. citizen in broad daylight right in front of you. It's disgusting. Genuinely. Do you hear yourself right now? Look into a mirror. Watch the video again. And
Jesus.
sit up here again and say that.
This is
You
so
kidding me?
impassioned.
I can't believe that there are
Can I ask you
American
something?
citizens on this live stream defending this about your fellow neighbors. Are you Christian? Push the
Yeah, I
galaxy.
am.
You're Christian, and you're saying this about your neighbors? Are you kidding me? You're kidding me, right? This is the least Christian thing you could possibly
if you're
do.
acting an idiot, I mean, if you're acting an idiot, though, something's gonna happen to you. You know? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You know what I'm saying?
What? What the fuck?
Okay, so then do you think that it would have been justified to shoot every single person who was pardoned by Donald Trump on January 6th?
No.
But they were like playing stupid games. Shouldn't they win stupid
Well,
prizes?
shoot, if they were already pardoned, was I mean in
No,
this
no, no. I
situation,
meant like they were violating the law. I meant like would it have been
If they had-
justified? Wait,
and-
would it?
and
No,
they
no.
went
Listen,
up to a
listen.
cop,
Would it have
they
been
went up to a
justified
cop
for
and
the
they shot him.
would it have been justified for the officers just to start firing into the crowds on
On January 6th.
January 6th?
No, obviously not.
Wait, why not?
What kind of question is that? That's
Wait,
the
but
stupidest
like
question I've ever
you,
heard.
you just said play stupid game.
Yeah.
Win
Win
stupid
super
prizes,
Do they
prizes.
have, do they have any guns?
Oh wait, okay. So you
Are they-
claim.
are they-
Wait. You claim if they are in possession of a, then it's justified to shoot them,
Oh my
even if they are
God,
in
you're
possession
taking
of that
this context.
in a legal context, and they're not brandishing that
What you
in
do,
any
partner.
illegal context.
This is so out of context, bro.
It's not.
What is?
It really is. Okay, okay.
It's
can I ask you a
directly
question
in
real quick?
context. Would you like to
Just
address
to end
my
this off.
address what I have to say, and then you can ask me the question that you have?
What was the question?
They're not brandishing
What was the question? This is almost
the
over.
firearm. All they have is legal access to the firearm. Do you think it's justified to shoot them just because they have a firearm?
Yeah, bro.
Well, obviously not, bro. It
Oh,
depends
okay.
on the situation.
Wait, but that's what you just
Which
said.
In this
you
situation,
just said because they had a justified to shoot them when they were disarmed,
what
when they
point
were
did they
pepper
disarm them
sprayed,
on the
when they had multiple
what point
agents
did
on
they-
top of
at
them
what
trying to
point-
detain them. They posed
At
no
what point
threat
did
of
you get
severe
disarmed?
bodily harm or death to anyone. No reasonable
where
reasonable
was
threat.
it was taken away?
Where was the?
Yeah. Did he have it in his hands? Did he have it in his waistband?
It was in the
Holster.
side thing. Like the
Holster.
waistband.
This
It's called a holster.
thing, okay. So like a holster?
I'm pretty sure it was either a holster or waistbands, one or the other.
Are we sure about this? Are you sure? Maybe you didn't see his hand.
No,
If
I'm
someone yells
positive.
gun,
We're positive because we saw the ICE agent go in not holding anything and then go out holding the exact. You can watch Dean's video. He compares the exact to the DHS literally said was they got from the person. So you can literally see that. It's very clear, right? There's so much evidence indicating this to
Yeah.
be true. You didn't do research.
a
And
lot
you're gonna
of
sit up here and defend
video
this. You
evidence.
see what I mean? You're so biased, and you're willing to defend the Republicans so much that you're willing to defend them, even when your eyes tell you they literally are supporting.
That ended very abruptly, okay? That ended very abruptly. What do you think? Thoughts? I never thought that I'd see a person defending this by, you know. Hello. Oh, Estelle. Estelle, welcome. Time to call your senators now. The ice is beginning to melt. Ice is getting out of hand. Who's your senator, Lucy? Lucy Fight has a force is my senator, and I call him every single day. Okay. Oh yeah, we're gonna watch President Sunday. Left is cooked, I think is the title. The online left is cooked. But we've already... The online left is cooked. Why did President Sunday... I don't know. Trusty Apeko. Hello. Trusty Apeko. Wait, I think I've seen you here before, but Trusty Apeko. Have I seen you here before? Your name feels so familiar to me. Okay, we're gonna watch President Sunday's video now. The online leftist cook, even though it stole the title. It stole the title from... Yeah, it's been a while, but I have been here before. Yeah, I know.
We don't know
How
what
long
Vosh's
has it
take
been,
is.
actually? It's interesting to check how long has it been. Have you ever seen my face before? Have you ever heard my voice before? Were you here in my VTuber era? Or my silent era? I've had my own eras of streaming. If so, then I have to tell you about the changes. I don't have one channel now. Now I have 3 different channels. So I have to know how long has it been? How up to date are you with the Lucy Haze experience? To be able to, what do you say? What's it called? Customize your experience. Also, SUIKODEN is almost ready. It's having some hiccups.
We don't know what Vosh's take is, because we've already unclicked. 1 minute and 26 seconds have passed by. What we did, however, see was a token here saying we are too soft on the violent mentally ill.
Uh-oh. I never saw your VTuber. The last time I saw you were guesting on In Time Great episode. Oh, thank you. Okay, so you know what I do. I know that I do war journalism, etc. So basically, I started 2 new channels apart from this one. I started Lucy Haze Network. That one's for politics and for news. So if you want politics and news from me, go to Lucy Haze Network, which I will. It's probably smart for me to link it when I talk about it. This is for news and politics. I decided to clearly do a cut for my thing. The channel that you're in now is for Slop and for gaming and art. And also, I started a channel where I upload my interviews and documentary style movies from my journalism in Ukraine. So 3 channels in total.
Even a leftist is saying we are too soft on the violent mentally ill. Even leftists are starting to acknowledge that we are too soft on crime and so on and so forth. We are screwed.
We are.
This is a Vosh clip by Thermia entitled "We Are Too Soft on the Violent Mentally Ill." This is the description. Vosh is a based American leftist streamer. More specifically, Vosh is a libertarian socialist who advocates for market socialism. He opposes authoritarianism and opposes people who praise dictators like Stalin and Mao, calling them tankies. He's also an advocate for LGBTQ+ and minority...
Thank you very much, Trusty Apeko. Thank you so much. So I'm trying to do this whole big separation, okay? Here you come from the Slop, gaming, and art. I will do art, I promise, at some point. And over there you go for the news and politics. And of course, you know, the pre-made content is on the 3rd channel. And I hope this will work out and lead to me becoming the biggest in the universe.
He writes, and the video is called "We Are Too Soft on the Violent..."
Also, I'm gonna go grab a drink, okay? I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'm going to be, okay, the biggest streamer ever. Pepsi. I'm gonna be back, and I'm going to be the biggest streamer without. Okay, I'm not gonna shock my dog with electricity, and I'm not gonna show you short stack goblins. Okay. Those are my personal achievements, not shocking my dog and not having short stack goblins.
Mentally ill.
64-year-old Nicola Tanzi, who was a church leader, was brutally beaten to death. I tried to watch this video in preparation. It's very hard to watch in a subway station in Brooklyn. 25-year-old David Mazarregos had a 20-inch sword. He's the suspect in this case. He was out. They lowered his bail so that he could get out. He was already waiting a trial for attacking someone in Chelsea. 33 past arrests. You were in favor of bail reform. Does that make you want to change your mind or think twice about reversing that?
This is a horrific incident, and it's the same video that I saw, and it's one that horrified.
You know what reform the U.S. needs? The reform needed in the U.S. is from a what do you call it? From a revenge almost system, from punishment to reform. You have many countries in which, unlike the US, the justice system revolves around not a punishment, right? But it's all about reform of the people that commit crimes. And those countries have a much lower recidivism rate and a lower crime rate overall. And it's just the United States has the most incarcerated people per capita, as far as I know. That still is the case. And also the United States very much focuses mostly on punishment and not on reforming the inmates. So those are the solution here is not to reform the bail system. Okay, that does not solve anything. Hello, Titan Uranus. Wouldn't you agree with me? That does not solve anything.
New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs, and it's completely unacceptable. And what it makes me think about is the necessity of providing public safety in our New York City subway system and across the 5 boroughs. And also, how do we end...
Why would that change his mind? Because this is how, like, the average person operates, and this is what Fox News peddles to, right? Oh, you had, like, a policy position? Here's a scary story. How do you feel now? It's how most people operate.
The revolving door, because when you look further into the case of whether this individual or so many individuals, especially those suffering from mental health issues, what we find is
also incarcerating people with mental health issues in jail instead of trying to address those mental health issues is also a completely, bizarre thing to do, in my opinion.
So often, the only mental health system that we have that's functioning in the city is Rikers Island. 40% of the incarcerated population there are suffering from serious mental illness.
Why was he on the street is the question. Why was he on the street?
Because we have...
That's what I wanted. Pause. You'll notice nobody said anything. Nobody said anything. Vosh didn't say anything about how we were too soft on the violent mentally ill. He didn't do an Uno reverso and go, oh, you thought I was going to say we are too soft on the violently mentally ill, on the violent mentally ill. But actually, that was clickbait. I was going to undermine that and point out how actually, no, that's what idiots think.
What idiots think. Trusty Apeco says, I think there is a third category called restorative. It's not clear to me whether that coincides with reformative justice. I think restorative, it feels like it does. We can look it up. Restorative versus reformative justice. See what the AI has to say about that. Restorative justice focuses on repairing harm through victim-offended dialogue, apology, and restitution to restore relationship and community, often used as an alternative to traditional punishment. Reformative or rehabilitative justice focuses on changing the offender's behavior, mindset, and or circumstances to prevent further future crime. It feels to me that it feels to me like those are not actually mutually exclusive. It feels to me like you can have both restorative and reformative. Because none of these things seem mutually contradictory or exclusive.
And actually, what we should be thinking about is like, hey, what about all of these things?
Like you can rehabilitate the person, you can still have them be in a dialogue with the victim, depending on, of course, the severity of the crime, because sometimes the victim might just not want that contact, right?
Cause people with mental illness to be thrown out into the world without support, with the general acceptance.
Yeah, but I'm gonna throw my anger at Estelle and say, okay, you can have rehabilitation without prison. Like, just abolishing prison and not doing anything also does not really solve anything. There you go. Oh yeah, Estelle agreed. So I guess that's it. Ideally, yes, but I'm not sure if it's practical, especially in some cases. Also, restricting one's freedom is not always a bad thing, by the way. Like you can be not allowed to leave a mental institute, for example. You can be ordered by a court to be in a mental institute and not be able to leave it, but it's still not a prison. It's still not factually a prison, a mental health hospital, when a person that, for example, does not distinguish between reality and dreams and just cannot function. They are not allowed to leave, but it's not exactly a prison. Titan Uranus says, I'm for rehabilitation and non-incarceration alternatives for many crimes, but there are simply some people who are dangerous to themselves and others due to circumstances beyond their control. Yeah. But again, I don't consider a mental institution, like a mental health hospital, I don't consider that to be a prison, even though some people are not allowed to leave. But, they're not just allowed to say, oh, I want to leave, I'm gone.
Tons of people that, and the people they hurt, and when they hurt themselves, that's an acceptable loss for not spending resources on taking care of them. We don't know what Vosh's take is, because we've already unclicked. 1 minute and 26 seconds have passed by. What we did, however, see was a token here, saying we are too soft on the violent mentally ill. Even a leftist is saying we are...
Hello, just here to watch a trash parade. That's right, I'm doing Slop now. I'm doing Slop for you, okay? We've already done politics on the other channel, which I'm sad that you were not here for. But you're here for the trash fire. Wait, no. How long has been? I've done a separate stream on the politics channel, 2 hours, and now we are doing Slop. on this channel, okay? So this channel has been going on for 20 something minutes. Okay, we have different channels now. Okay.
We are too soft on the violent mentally ill. Even leftists are starting to acknowledge that we are too soft on crime and so on and so forth. We are screwed.
We are screwed up.
Like genuinely screwed, and here's why. And it's not because Vosh is a pedophile, though he is. We are in a situation where we have to, in order to succeed as public figures, as influencers on politics, on this medium, we have to engage in behaviors that give more credence to the political right than it does to the political left before we've even spoken. That's where we are at right now. ContraPoints has this famous clip where she goes like,
I will never do that, by the way. I will never start pandering to right-wing talking points, okay? I got called a commie Nazi in Times side chat earlier. Wait, what? Why? What did you do?
leftists don't want to attain power. Leftists just want to endlessly critique power. And so now you've got all of these leftists online who are now siding with people like Mamdani, and great, actually. I rather like Mamdani, definitely compared to the alternatives. But here's the problem. A whole lot of them all of a sudden are now berating their audiences for having issues with Democrats who are posturing as working class advocates and so on and so forth, whatever the hell that means. Because let me tell you something. If you're in the working class, you're not getting into the Democratic Party.
Well, I'm Polish. I'm Polish, so I don't think I'm gonna have the privilege of joining the Democratic Party either way.
And the actual critique of power is now essentially being banned from the...
My aunt has been incarcerated, by the way. My aunt went to prison. I don't even know if I should be telling the story, to be honest. But yeah, my aunt went to prison. Because of self-defense. Okay? I can tell you that my aunt was the person that initiated the discussion about self-defense in Poland. There was no talk of self-defense in Poland, of killing somebody when they enter your property. And she did because of circumstances, and then she went to jail. Yeah. Well, it was self-defense, but it was a question of whether or not it would be judged to be a murder or not. That was the big thing in the case. Judging on whether or not it was murder or not. You know?
spaces because it interrupts the ability of major leftist figures, quote unquote, to network with mainstream Democrats who are offering them a hand. Not even just Democrats who are offering them a hand, offering them a token of legitimacy. You can be a real person. You're already rich. You already have a massive following. You already have influence with a ton of people, but we will give you the stamp of legitimacy.
Wow.
And so what has happened is leftists, quote unquote, have stopped critiquing power and have started trying to win. However, as a consequence of that, it's the thing I just said, they've stopped critiquing power. And you may have noticed something.
I will never stop critiquing power, okay? I don't need to be made relevant. I don't need to be made legitimate, okay? My father was already a politician. He did this, okay? Which was a weird moment, by the way, when I talked to my neighbor from my childhood house and I said my father passed away, and the neighbor was like, oh yeah, I already know. I read it in the press. Titan Nurana says, I have a good friend, someone I could ask any favor of pretty much, who spent 15 years in federal prison. My aunt had a real weird cellmate that described to her in detail how she boiled her infant child alive in a pot. Imagine being locked in a cell and your inmate just starts telling you how the skin of their child starts becoming pink, etc., as it's boiling. Was a thing.
That across the board, from Hassan Piker to person who totally thought that pictures of children were goblins, who totally thought that pictures of prepubescent children were short-stacked goblins.
Listen, give me the viewership, okay? Give me the viewership, give me the thing, and you will not see me pander to right-wing talking points, okay? I don't need legitimacy. Okay? I just, no. I can get my legitimacy politically without pandering.
To people like Destiny, FD Signifier, whatever, you will notice across the board, they have completely abandoned actually advocating for actual social change and have instead become essentially vectors of propaganda for Democratic candidates. And the critique of power has virtually ended. Nobody cares about trans people anymore. That's passé. Not with this
That is
channel.
sad.
I'm going all in on that lately, as you've seen, because I think it's extremely important. I actually think it's
It is pretty important. It is pretty important that your favorite streamer Lucy Hazard does not get erased. Okay. Speaking of which, okay, it's been almost 2 months. Okay, it's been over a month. I'm not gonna say over 2 months, but it's been over a month, and I've not been able to go back on my HRT because I'm very poor. So please consider going here and, I don't know, show me some mercy. Just here to watch a trash fire. Nazbols are like ninjas.
at the center of things, weirdly.
Remember, your $1 is 3 to 4 times more for me because I'm in Poland and my currency is weaker.
Not actually weirdly when you know what's going on, but it sounds weird to people who think that this is a marginal thing. It's actually at the heart of everything, strangely. But that's been essentially tossed aside. Nobody cares anymore.
I care. As a trans person.
Nobody.
I care about trans people, even though actually on my streams I don't talk about trans issues all that often, but you know, I care. Okay.
Cares about the way in which we address.
I don't talk about trans issues all that often because I don't want to be typecast. I already get transphobia no matter what I talk about. Okay? I already get transphobia whatever I talk about. Whatever the topic is, I'm gonna get transphobia. So, you know, it doesn't matter what I do. At least I don't get it in the new film channel.
People who suffer from mental illness or disabilities, or who are in X, Y, and Z communities that are in battle said nobody cares about that anymore. Even in places where you think that would be like their bread and butter, you got like FD signifier types who are not being radical on purpose, specifically in order to maintain access to a seat at the table. And so we are in a situation right now where there is no more movement. It's frozen. And you
I like Mauty's coverage of the history and pseudoscience of racism.
may have noticed this. Interact.
Yes, there is a movement, okay? I am the movement. It's just that I need bigger, momentum, okay? I am the movement.
Interactions between creators, negative ones, which are really important, by the way, stopped. They've stopped. Orbiters as a phenomena, going down. A bunch of people around Hassan Piker were sued by Ethan Klein recently.
Uh-oh.
And it came out recently that Hassan Piker did absolutely nothing to support them, even though he was indicating that he would do so in the background. Just let them drown. We have a problem here in that the medium has effectively captured the sign of being a leftist, quote unquote. This is Vosh is a leftist streamer, a base leftist streamer.
I am a base leftist streamer, but no one gives me the time of day apart from all of you beautiful viewers. Just here to yes, I would normally mention another YouTube channel, but Lucy has been on in time, and Maut is a co-host occasionally. His channel is the other duck. You know what? Listen, if people here feel like their channel is worth mentioning or people worth promoting, I don't get butthurt. Okay, you can. I trust you. I trust you to promote the right people here. And if you have a mod tool thing, you can link a link, to a channel. I won't get mad, If you think that's worth promoting, then go ahead. If you have a link and you want people to watch that person and they have, what do you call it? Oh God, I'm forgetting my words. If they have valuable things, I'm gonna say valuable. I had a different word in mind, but if they have valuable things to share, then go ahead and just throw in a link in the chat. Like, people get mad when, oh, how dare you talk about other creators in my chat or link, and I'm just Yeah. I also never heard of, I'm not sure. Did I talk to Maut ever? Have I talked to them?
Why? Because he's marketed himself as that. And he has thousands and thousands of people watching him concurrently. Why?
Okay. Interesting. Okay, I've got a question for my super active chat, okay? If Vosh has marketed himself as a base lefty creator, what do you think I market myself as? Let me check it out, actually. What do you think I market myself as? Let me check it out. The other hood. I subscribed.
Hello friends, you may have noticed that my channel has been taking a very different direction lately. I'm going
they're of a similar size to mine.
On these video essays on scientific racism and the history of it, as well as the history of eugenics, with the focus on the Pioneer Fund and Wyclef Draper, of course, but obviously it branches out into so many different things. So I'm going to be doing interviews, I'm going to be doing live streams, I'm going to keep making my video essays, I'm going to keep doing some rants. Thank those of you who have watched my new videos. I know that they're not for everybody. So, if you initially came to this channel because of music, I have a new music YouTube channel. It's called Flavor Tooth Funk.
I should record something like that, by the way, for my YouTube.
If you enjoy my music, but you particularly like the ambient stuff that I do, I have a new
I don't
YouTube
market myself
channel
that much.
called Ambient Bass. If you've come to my channel because of my psychology lectures, I now have a YouTube channel that is dedicated to my psychology lectures, and I think it's called
I literally
Rowdy
should do that.
Psychology lectures, something really creative. If you are interested in those aspects of what I was doing, I will not be offended if you unsubscribe and gravitate towards those other channels. I will be providing new content for them as well, hopefully. For those of you who are going to stay on, thank you. Welcome. If you haven't already, share the channel, do all of the YouTube-y things, because I'm going to be investing in this, and it would be great if you invested back. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I love about 12% of you.
All right, there's the channel. All right, let's continue watching President. Yikes.
Is it because they like the idea of spending a tremendous amount of their time listening to the opinions of a Beverly Hills rich kid who doesn't read
I'm not a rich kid.
anything?
I read something.
And who has pictures of children hoarded on his work computer? Is that why? No, it's because he has a lot of viewers. He has a lot of viewers because he has a lot of viewers. And that's how it's going right now. These people don't have to adhere to any kind of program or any kind of principles because they're...
I adhere to principles in a program. I try. Okay, I do my best.
Scale makes them immune to the consequences of not doing so. And actually, it's a little bit worse than that. Because if they did adhere to those things, they would be immediately financially punished, which creates a...
Yeah, I do, and I am punished, okay? That's true. I am punished.
really perverse situation in which the conditions of pragmatic success end up being abandoning the side that the pragmatic success is supposedly for. And by the way, I don't know off the top of my head if Vosh's position isn't going to be that we are too soft on the mentally ill. The violent mentally ill, pardon me. I don't know. Although I know what his position on, for example, like drug consumption is. I know what his position on the homeless is. I know what his position on...
What is
I know
it?
what his position on trans people in his community is.
What is it?
When he doesn't think that there's a negative consequence to marginalizing them. We're in a ton of trouble right now. Because on top of this, on top of every single major figure being, I want to say, I was going to say compromised, but really, having been revealed to have long since been compromised, captured, really. What is everybody else doing? Well, they're all playing the same social media game. They've just also abandoned politics altogether.
No, I have not. I have not abandoned politics altogether. I've literally created a whole new channel only for politics.
Or they're just feeding it all into AI, and they're just producing slop.
I don't feed it. I don't use AI. AI.
Or they're folding, and they're becoming buddy with people who have made that fundamental betrayal, in order to be hopefully taken along for the ride. Hopefully.
I haven't done that either.
It's a really big problem. And once the elections are done, for now, if there is a big sweep, and it seems like there very well may be, we will not be in a position where we are rebuilding access to power for all of these little movements. What we will have done is we will have trained everybody who was engaged in this way to now associate valuing underrepresented groups and advocating for them and critiquing the manifestations of power that deperson them is a losing strategy.
What the hell?
Because this is the perverseness, the perversity of ContraPoints' I want to say claim, but like the criticism that the left doesn't want power, they just want to endlessly critique power. If you stop critiquing power, power stops being critiqued. But moreover, why would someone like ContraPoints object to power being critiqued? Well, because in a situation in which party politics is the game, is the
Sorry, that was a glitch.
only legible approach to doing politics, to doing organizing or what have you, people like ContraPoints are very important. She has a clear path and a clear ladder to climb. If she gets associations with people in pop culture or people in politics, good for her.
Right.
Now she's more and more of a hero in the story. Even if her side
I don't want to be a hero in this story.
is losing, she gets to be the main character.
I want to be the main character.
Especially so if there actually is no winning whatsoever, but there is a constant tension, a constant strive to win according to a strategy that prioritizes people like her, that prioritizes people like Vosh, people like Destiny, people like Hassan, people like Mamdani. We don't need to stop at the online level. That's just what's sort of closest to hand for us here because we're weirdos. You can look at like actual like Democrats as well. You can look at, I have always believed that marriage is between a man and a woman, Obama. You can look at all of these people.
I have always believed that only people with penises can marry. There you go. I will allow the artificial form of marriage by wearing a strap-on.
Critiquing power not being important is really advantageous to someone
I will allow this.
who really wants to get a position of power that already exists. Because critiquing it devalues it. It doesn't just devalue it, it devalues the person who has framed their identity around those existing nodes of power. So the retort, and I said this the other day on Patreon, the retort,
Only dudes can marry other dudes in the optimal society.
to ContraPoints.
Now I'm gonna be more inclusive. Only people with
The left
penises.
doesn't want to win, they just want to endlessly critique power, is that, well, it seems like you just endlessly want to play this same game forever. You don't want the game to end because you got not a winning hand, but a good hand. You're not winning, but
You're not losing.
you're having fun with the game being played as it is. And the problem is that the critique of power is something that doesn't happen on the government side of things or the famous person side of things. One, I think, would appropriately actually call that the fascising side of things, where the tendency is towards building up little fortresses in little cults of personality and little organizations and little parties and whatnot, and then turning on other leftists in order to defend those things, because that's the winning strategy, guys. We have to stick to the plan. There's an omelet to cook.
I do like omelets.
That critique of power is what actually builds actual community on the human side of things. It's what breaks down the notion that certain people don't count because they aren't useful towards this particular fascising strategy.
Right.
And there is a flip side to this, because there are also people who've done the exact same thing, sort of building off of this tendency. I'm talking about people like Bad and Panada. Because on a surface level, like, by the way, it's frustrating as hell, because Bad and Panada says some things that I agree with. He says a lot of things that I don't, though.
Give me an
And
example of what you agree with.
The reason why I don't agree with him, it's not even so much a matter of, like, pragmatic. It's not a matter of, like, a difference of opinion on strategy. It's because Bad and Panada did something a little bit clever from a marketing standpoint. Look at all these people who are being co-opted. Come join my private monetized group, web page, whatever, channel. I'll give you the real stuff.
Oh, really? The real stuff.
By talking about how, look at how all of those privileged American, like, trans and queer people, and especially Jews, he really doesn't like Jews, all of these people who are
the one time I pointed out that Bad and Panada has a reputation of being an anti-Semite, he called me a pedophile.
Either anti-Zionist or who are marginalized and just ignored now. They are either privileged first world brats who we should celebrate the suffering of, or they carry guilt by genetic association, I suppose.
What?
And so they should. He's been posting stuff about how Jewish anti-Zionists should stop for some reason, and it very nakedly is.
God.
He wants to leverage the fact that a whole lot of people have become reflexively anti-Semitic because they have allowed themselves to vent their anger about Gaza on a racial group because it's satisfying.
Yeah.
It's cheap.
I should just stop being an anti-Zionist.
And satisfying. Yeah, it's farming first world resentment, anti-first world resentment, exactly.
While also denying genocides like the Holodomor.
And so at the end of the day, he's not
and
going
adopting horrible opinions on the war happening in Ukraine right now.
Do anything, but he is going to make himself a lot of dough. And a whole lot of other people, especially ones who made bank, by the way. Bad and Panada.
I don't make bank. Please help me by joining this page. And I'm not saying help me make bank, but every dollar counts.
Is like Hasbara, but the negging kind, right? He's the negative scaffolding of Hasbara. Since we're talking about endlessly playing games called Hasbro. But a lot of people who made bank advocating for Gaza and advocating for Palestinians, which is a good thing to do, by the way, are suddenly nowhere to be seen.
Uh-oh. Because the conflict is over. Trump has solved the conflict, you guys.
Gone.
Trump has solved this conflict, you guys. It's over. There's no need to do anything anymore.
They're all gone. They're all silent.
There's just no need anymore.
Hassan Piker is currently shilling for a Blackwater mercenary, and is disciplining his audience to not critique the Democratic Party too much. Vosh is in his own small way doing essentially the same thing while veering more and more conservative every single day, but not really veering because he was always that. Just dropping the mask. Because fundamentally, here's the problem with putting all of your faith in public figures to sort of carry leftism for you. A, if they're on YouTube, they can't do that. But B...
I mean, you can, technically speaking, you can do things on YouTube, or you can stream to be a little bit more serious, and you can transfer what money you make to do real life projects and do real life stuff, right? I'm begging you for money here on stream while doing Slop. And then I go and with a camera to Ukraine and I create, and I talk with real people in Ukraine about the war. I do the journalisms, right? Like activity online can be can be translated to activity in real life.
You're just putting out a signpost for a job. Like, hey, do you have a large audience and are you willing to say X, Y, and Z? Then we will watch you and we will subscribe to you and give you money. And the problem is, it's like the parable of the sower. From the Bible story. It's like a guy sows some seeds on like some fertile soil. It grows deep roots and it grows really well. Throws some soil on the rocks and they grow really fast. There's not a lot of obstructions for their roots. They grow really fast, but there's not really anything holding them down, so the winds come and they get blown away. It's like that. Because now you have a whole bunch of people who were willing to take on X, Y, and Z positions because there were benefits for doing so, but the benefits are social, the benefits are institutional, the benefits have to do with the current political climate, and when the climate changes, well, there's nothing holding their roots down. And moreover, as you grow, something very strange happens. See, I've got a very small audience. A part of this is because I'm me. A part of this is also because
I have a micro audience. If President Sunday has a very small audience, then you know what? I have a micro audience.
I have like very peculiar focuses. I have things that I actually focus on for long periods of time. Doesn't mean I'm very disciplined or very effective in creating the product for it, but I focus on particular kinds of things and that attracts particular kinds of people. If I wanted to grow, one strategy for doing so would be to make my content more various so I'm interacting with people in many different communities. I
am trying to vary my content. Okay, in that sense, I am choosing the strategy to grow, hopefully, because I'm still me. So we'll see.
For example, pick out different people from this community, this community, this community, and make, hopefully, somewhat bad critiques of them so that they feel confident to reply, so that there is an interchange between their people and my people, so that I become more and more known, so that the next time I do a thing, more people are watching.
Okay, I don't do that. That is a thing that I don't. Should I do that? Should I be doing that?
Right? What this means, though, is that when somebody has a particular project and particular loyalties and they adhere to that, that is a strategy that does not conduce to growth. Which means it doesn't conduce to getting rich. It doesn't conduce to getting into a different social position, which is not something to laugh at. There is a world of difference between a content creator who has to work on the side and a content creator who can devote themselves 100% to whatever it is that they're doing. And so the argument sometimes is, not the argument, but the thing that goes on in people's heads is, well, I will do the thing. I will do the thing that doesn't serve my side, but which serves me, and by so doing, I will make myself better able to serve my side. The problem is, it doesn't stop. You can carry on that argument forever, and moreover, that program that you think you're doing it for doesn't exist. It's not there. There is no leftist side for which you are doing the thing because you are already betraying the left in order to serve the left. What if everybody's doing that? What if
Sandy is the only person I have ever heard properly use condis in that way? Titan Uranus says.
What if
I guess I am engaging in other creators. I engaged with Asmongold and my video got 1,400 views.
Everybody's doing that, but not just that. What if everybody is constantly able to tell themselves new, ever-evolving stories about how the thing that benefits them actually benefits some other thing that valorizes it? So that you can end up being in a position where you turn full circle. You go from being a radical leftist, radical leftists, more radical than me at the time, radical leftists like Vosh, praising Antifa at Berkeley University and whatnot, to being sort of a social democrat, kind of, you know, I like universal health care, I like trans people and whatnot, to being basically just a Democrat shill.
Well, I'm not a shill, okay?
And what if at every single step of the way you use the fact that these decisions caused you to grow as a sign that therefore they were the right decision for the left? And you see, you don't even need to actually lie.
If you want someone who's not a shill to grow, then, you know, I'm here, okay? At least President Sunday viewers should appreciate, okay?
To people or misrepresent who you are, because you fully believe that narrative about yourself. You believe the lie you're telling yourself. And the lie isn't that you're doing this for nefarious reasons, because you're not. The lie is that you had any overarching reasons to begin with.
Oh, God.
And so it comes down to, fundamentally, you are what you eat. And the problem we're in right now...
What do I eat?
...is that major leftist figures have gotten a taste for human flesh.
Oh, God.
We kind of eat people these days. Because fundamentally, like, what has happened is...
What has happened?
Proximity to the Democratic Party has become the definition of a successful leftist, which means that as the Democratic Party veers more and more conservative...
I'm Polish. There's no way for me to have more proximity to the Democratic Party. Unless, what do you call it? What's their face? Get me to canvas for them. What do they call? Well, you know, do you know the group? Like, what is the group of that, you know, Brianna Wu was with them, but she was kicked out. Remind me, please.
Successful leftists have essentially been completely uprooted.
No, Project Victory? No, there's not libertarians. Not DGG. Oh, God, what was their name? Progressive Victory. There you go. Thank you, Socialix. That's the thing. Unless Progressive Victory hires me and flies me to the US and tells me which actually technically speaking could have happened. They could have been like, oh, you stream, you're Polish, and there's a bunch of Polish people in the US, which is true. So you could go canvas to the Polish community. That technically speaking, there's a world where that could happen. We're gonna fly you to the US. You're gonna be in the state where there's a whole bunch of Polish people, and you gotta talk to the people from the Polish community. Here you go. I've made my pitch.
From
if what's his face, Wick, could be a member of staff, then
anything that resembles leftism, except for a series of different colored policies that presume all of the things that the left is supposed to be critiquing. Because critiquing power is the left.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of like winning or critiquing power forever. It's a matter of when you stop critiquing power, that is when you have lost. You've been assimilated.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Case in point, how many of these people, including ContraPoints, are now both siding the Gaza genocide? How many of these people are now...
I'm not both siding the Gaza genocide, so I don't tick that box. Let's see which boxes I tick, okay?
Carrying water for people who have zero community ties, who we have zero reason to think on a class basis, on a moral basis, on a political basis, won't betray us down the line once they get that power. Because what happens when your channel grows? You get more people. So the old people you thought were important, if they complain about what you're doing, well, there's more people. More people are always going to be telling you you're doing a good job.
Okay. I don't have that problem yet. And the few people that watch me have been criticizing me behind the scenes for what I'm doing. But most of the critique is not about politics. Most of the critique is that I play games that are Diet Coke or something. You're doing a good job, Lucy. Thank you. Thank you, Estelle. People calling my precious Suikoden a Diet Pepsi game. That's the biggest criticism that I've... Yeah. But I've gotten a whole new Japanese viewer that loves Suikoden, okay? Oh, that's the thing that Vosh was talking about. There was a new person that was saying that was doing great.
What's going on?
President Sunday is right.
Vosh fan channel. Nope. I was using the Vosh fan channel as an example of something.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't even seen this thing yet.
What is he drinking?
But I already had the title there. So, that's the negative part. Positive part.
Okay, Lucy is the positive part.
That's
Lucy.
the bad news.
Okay, Lucy is the positive news.
Good news is that we're all still here. So,
Oh.
what do we do about it? My strong suggestion.
Subscribe to Lucy Haza. If that is going to be next sentence that comes out of the President Sunday's mouth, you know what? I'm gonna be happy.
Is that we abandon big channels entirely. I'm speaking to any smaller channels who are finding themselves up against a wall where there is no more receptivity. Not abandon all people with big channels, to be clear.
Wait, sorry,
where there is
what?
no more channels entirely. I'm speaking to any smaller channels who are finding themselves up against a wall where there is
I am finding myself up against the wall. You're speaking to me. You're speaking to a smaller channel right now. President Sunday is speaking to me in real time.
more receptivity.
Wow.
Not abandon all people with big channels, to be clear. Abandon a big channel-oriented strategy. Abandon a big person-oriented strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Not just in terms of content creation, not just in terms of YouTube, in terms of like politics generally. Just abandon it.
Okay.
Still vote. Vote for people, obviously, who put in policies that help you as opposed to hurt you. Or at least don't put in policies that hurt you if the alternative is somebody hurting you. Right?
Yeah.
Move that aside. Like that's obvious. Don't limit your options arbitrarily to satisfy your thirst for vengeance or the illusion of having power in a situation. Because the fact of the matter is you don't. Your vote fundamentally doesn't matter. But nonetheless, not voting is kind of stupid. Because if a whole lot of you suddenly decide not to vote at all, well, guess what? That game is still playing. That stuff still matters. And losing power, by the way, is not critiquing power. There is a mirror to what ContraPoints is saying that has truth to it. It's one of the reasons why people didn't actually question that remark too much.
What is it?
Deliberately taking efforts to lose power is a mistake.
Yes, I agree. That's why I've always criticized this.
Not maintaining the connections that you have is a mistake. I have generally been finding over the last little while that I have more in common as a leftist.
With Lucy Hadza.
I see my views reflected. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this so it can't be used rhetorically, because there's a lot of ways you can do that. I have seen liberal channels do leftism better than leftist channels.
Oh gosh. Give me an example.
I have seen people. A couple come to mind automatically. Angela Collier, whose channel I love, as you all know. Angela Collier, very good. Like channels like this, they will not take.
I cannot believe that he did not say that Lucy Hadza is a great channel. Wow. Are you seeing this? Wow.
Ostensibly, they will not name themselves as leftist channels, but they will do a critique of actual power. They will do.
Yeah, I do critique of actual power. President Sunday. What the hell? President Sunday?
Advocacy for people who are marginalized by power.
Yeah, I do.
For people who are preyed upon by it, and that will be the main focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said the thing. What was the thing?
What about me?
Majority Report. Majority Report, I think, is one of the last few actually leftist channels still standing that's of scale. Majority Report is a good example,
Is
actually,
it because I'm small?
of an alternative.
Oh man, President Sunday. Oh,
This is going to make Brooks mad. Morbid Zoo is a very good one. I'm avoiding saying that one because she's co-authoring a video with me. Sort of. She supplied
Lucy
some
Haze.
readings for it. But I generally find her takes very good. There are
Lucy
people
Haze.
who are doing that kind of thing better than leftist channels are, because the leftist brand does not mean you are a leftist. What do you think of Secular Talk? I don't really watch Secular Talk, so I don't know. I've been finding the stuff he covers is not very interesting to me, so
Lucy
maybe,
Haze.
possibly. I'm not in a place to say. But the point is, still engage with people
Well,
who have
then
those
he
lines.
should have said that there's a one good leftist channel. Should he have not?
To power, still vote and so on and so forth. But as individuals who want to do something, start focusing again on the little people beside you. Stop focusing on the big ones. If you're a small channel, stop focusing on big channels. Focus on small channels.
I don't focus on big channels.
There are a lot of, for example, there are a lot of small channels
Lucy Haze.
that will take time to understand and advocate for trans issues. That's one example.
Lucy Haze.
Start networking. Start combining. No Justice is a great example of
Lucy
this.
Haze.
That's a smallish channel. It's very good. She covers UK politics typically.
Lucy Haze.
There is what was that other one?
Wow. Wow. He cannot think of anything, can he? You're so validation start from President Sunday. I'm validation start from everybody.
There was another one that I saw recently.
Yeah, Lucy Haze. Was it Lucy Haze?
The trans positions, that's a tiny group, but good stuff like that. But start building up those networks. Start building horizontally. Stop trying to build vertically. Or maybe don't become a content creator and work at a soup kitchen.
Of course, I'm a very narcissistic person.
If here's the problem though, Gengaros, that's not a substitute. That's a good thing to do, but that's not a substitute. There are a lot of people who have this notion that engaging in anything online is a waste of time, but instead you should go outside and become a body in another institution and just it ends there. And it's like, okay, but that's just another body there. That's not doing politics. That's just going to a soup kitchen. And don't get me wrong, volunteering at a soup kitchen, good thing to do. If you have the time to do that, you should do that. 100%. I agree. That's not an alternative to politics. That's going to a soup kitchen. You need to actually build connections. The weakness here is at the level of community. It's not at the level of virtue. The problem is not people doing stuff that doesn't matter. The problem is that people don't understand the difference between doing stuff that actually builds up power to oppose power, versus makes you feel good about yourself. The problem with Bad Empanada is that fundamentally his entire project is abortive until you realize that the game is to get him rich.
Where is the mention of me, Sunday L? I know.
Can you build connections at a soup kitchen?
Yeah, I'm not on hiatus, okay? Titan Around says TP is on hiatus right now, I think, but the individual anchors will have channels. Yeah, I'm not on hiatus.
Like what? It's a soup kitchen. What are you talking about, Kingaros? Yes, you can build connections anywhere, but like the answer is not everybody go to a soup kitchen. That's you're asking the wrong question. You can build connections anywhere. But once again, like this is in the realm of like, oh, just go touch grass, join a local org, and it's like join something that already exists, okay? Join something that already exists that you already know because you have to make a positive effort to find out it exists, fails to do outreach and actually grow community. You see the problem?
President Sunday just criticized you for this, just here to watch a trash fire. Some of these guys should just volunteer, though. Don't worry about the politics. Just do some social work.
Soup kitchens are great. You should work at soup kitchens if you can. By the way, get ready to make connections with a lot of Christians. A lot of conservative Christians. Why? Part of their religion. They care about helping the poor in a particular context.
True.
Being the rub. Start building connections with people around you so that when people betray your community, there is a community that is capable of reacting to it. Because there is no such thing as a pure leftism, unfortunately. There is no such thing as a total abnegation of all identity and all form. The question fundamentally is, what are you aiming at? And so you need to build other bodies that can present a physical barrier and impediment and a counterweight to things that already exist. It's one of the reasons why it was a little bit frustrating to like see Kid Not Kin sort of abandon his channel, because it's like, you have a channel. You can...
Wait, Kid Not Kin abandoned his channel? What happened to Kid Not Kin's channel? Wait, Kid Not Kin gave up on streaming or what? What happened?
You're unique amongst the people at the protest. Like you can make stuff about this, but it turns out he was actually doing that with the side channel. So
okay,
he had a plan, as it turns out. No, because I used to argue with Brooks about this. Like, what is he doing? They're like, oh, there's another channel that's streaming it. Okay, whatever. Same difference. No, Kid is fine. No, Kid had a plan. It was just like I'm just reflecting because it was funny. He's also going to be back to streaming apparently. But I was talking to Brooks about this last. Like, what is he doing? He's got a camera. He's got a camera and a channel and an audience. He could be, but he was. There was just an additional channel that was streaming it. They actually got some decent views. Like I think like 100,000 views on some of their streams.
Oh my god.
Kids doing the example, by the way, of going out there and building actual connections. That's not soup kitchen stuff. He's going out there and actually networking with activists and organizations.
I mean, I'm building actual connections. It's just that I'm building the connections abroad with media people. With organizations that are about the children.
And getting on the news.
I don't know what the side channel is.
That's a thing you can do. Kid's a nobody. He's able to do that. You're able to do that. Where else is he streaming? There was a smaller streaming channel that was covering the Operation Inflation protests in Portland. Great example, by the way. They're going to have to add a chapter to Rules for Radicals after that one. Dress up like giant inflate. Just dress up like you're at a furry convention before you go to the protest, apparently. But it worked, apparently. Or at the very least, it did not work. It's one of those things where it's like actually measuring the efficacy is a little bit difficult, but it worked, and it was memorable, and it was a spectacle.
Yeah.
And I would be very surprised. Like, one of the genius of Operation Inflation, by the way, like, you can't overstate it. There were people who tried to pick fights with them. And the thing of it is that if you're in an inflatable suit dressed like a pink frog, and someone tries to pick a fight with you, it is a very hard sell that the pink frog was the aggressor.
Maybe
Yeah,
to
the National Guard pulled out of Portland. So yeah.
all right. This is like a.
Rules for Radicals was a shit book, actually. Rules for Radicals is actually a very fun book.
This feels
I
like
actually enjoyed
I
it.
don't know. That President Sunday has wavered away from this
Is it, like,
point
super
of the
serious?
online lead being cooked.
I think it's clever. I think some of it's actually pretty smart. One of my favorite ones is
This feels like a, you know,
they filled up I think it was an
like
opera
he just,
hall
I don't know,
with
started
people
talking about
who had
something
just consumed
completely
a bunch
different.
of baked beans right before. Hilarity ensued.
ICE officers say horrible things like, if you raise your voice, I raise your voice. Oh yeah,
But like that's
I actually have that clip prepared. Maybe I should
this
do
is
politics later
no one
as
reads
well.
Alinsky. Alinsky's easy to read. You got no excuse not to read Alinsky. If you're not reading anything, you want to read something fun.
You should read
Alinsky's
Zelensky.
fun.
Zelensky is fun.
Theory. Alinsky's easy.
Zelensky is easy.
Alinsky is like Machiavelli for dummies. It's great.
Zelensky is the Machiavelli
I
for
stand
dummies.
Alinsky.
You stand Zelensky? Oh,
Only right-wing people even really know who he is. Yeah. Rules for
bro,
Radicals
rambling. I know, right?
fun. It's fun though. Like I would never stop there. I wouldn't even take instruction from it.
Nobody watches me
It
when I
gets
ramble
the noggin
about
jogging.
random stuff, okay? Nobody listens to my rambling because I have an accent and I'm Polish. People are just racist. That's what I'm not huge. I'm not a huge content creator because
Read
I'm
Machiavelli though.
I'm
Machiavelli's
Slavic.
great. Read
People
Machiavelli.
hate the Slavs.
Machiavelli is a proto-leftist in a lot of ways. One of the best things about Machiavelli, which nobody gets, Rousseau got, is that Machiavelli is all about in the
Marxism.
prince. It's like it's modeled after a mirror for princes. Here's an instruction manual for a prince. But what do the instructions say? Find all of your power, locate all of your power in the people's love for you, and don't put any faith in fortresses or armies or family.
Have you
or
read
anything.
Machiavelli? I bet years ago,
It's a
many years
Republican
ago.
book disguised as a book for monarchs. It's actually ingenious. The section on fortresses is my favorite, and it's one of the most leftist texts you'll ever read. It's very short, but essentially it's don't put your faith in fortresses. If you put your faith in fortresses, you will be besieged. You could be besieged, and you will eventually starve. But if the people are your fortress, you'll withstand anything. You will never run out of people who will fight for you.
Exactly. I want my viewers to be my fortress.
It's prioritizing a politics of connection.
Voice not deep enough, lol. And yeah, I had to read.
Over a politics of
You people are my fortress.
putting up structures and trying to impose power from the top down. Machiavelli is fantastic, and also like Alinsky, the Prince
Like
is very
Zelensky.
short. Beautifully written, but very short. Trick them by being good to them? No, don't trick them by being good to them. That's the thing. People don't understand Machiavelli. People think of Machiavelli and they think of like Frank Underwood from House of Cards. If there's one thing I like about House of Cards, by the way, the new one, it's that once Frank Underwood got into power, he had nothing he could do. He was weak. And it made the seasons after season 2 really boring because it was just watching Frank.
Okay, he's just rambling. Okay, what's that? This should have been cut out from the online leftist cook video. Okay, like what is President Sunday's editor doing?
Underwood just being like, I don't know what to do. I got no power. I can't do anything.
What the hell?
He's just looking at the camera complaining until he had a stroke because
This is an
actor
edited
had a
video.
bunch of allegations against
Come
him.
on.
I mean,
Come
Go figure.
on.
we
Please.
can't have our. I'm not even going to go there. But like,
Don't go there. This video should have been shorter. Just saying.
that's the thing though.
Also, ask Riverbro Jack to raid me.
When you
I deserve it.
have relationships of power and domination and coercion, you are a single node that happens to have maneuvered yourself to a position momentarily of being able to exert some pressure on someone directly beneath you. But as soon as you find yourself in a situation where what's beneath you is a whole lot of things that you don't have the power to actually push down on, suddenly that skill set is worthless. And what actually matters is not being able to trick people.
There's still half an hour left of what? Yeah, I know.
What actually matters is being able...
Video should be short and punchy.
make
I know,
yourself
like my
one with
videos. My videos are short and punchy. And yet you don't watch them, Estelle. What the hell is that about?
the actual site of power. And then to maybe bump its directionality in some way, if you can.
What the hell?
At Smith Black 5945 super chatted $10. The Virgin Frederick the Great versus the Chad.
I can prove it. What was my last video about? We got 5 seconds. If you answer within 5 seconds, I will know that you did not look it up.
Belly.
I have to put the anti-Machiavel theory reading onto the Patreon still. Thank you for that, by the way, Smith Black. Appreciate it. Really dumb show? Nah, House of Cards was smart. House of Cards was a good show. I enjoyed it. Like, it wasn't like... It was no Pluribus, but it was quite good. Pluribus is so good, by the way. I'm watching... me and my partner are watching Pluribus right now. We're on the...
Oh my god. What does you and your partner watching some show have to do with the online left is being cooked, okay? You know, do you know why the left is cooked? It's not because of Bosch and his goblins. It's not because of Hassan and his dogs. It's because of President Sunday talking about his partner and him watching shows instead of explaining to me why the online left is cooked, okay? Wow.
Tonight. I already have a feeling of where it's going. It is so good, though. Oh my god, Pluribus is so good. Really
Okay.
good show.
Okay.
I'm actually loving it.
Oh my god. Fire your editor.
It's one of my favorite. It's
No, don't fire your editor. That was just a joke, okay? But tell them to do their job.
favorite shows of all time, I think. The guilty pleasure is Fallout, which sucks, but it's fun. Fallout sucks. It's badly written. It's really badly written, but it's got charming actors. It's fine.
It's like watching a stream VOD. It's not like watching an edited segment. As you feel like I'm watching just a stream VOD.
It's fine. It's like what? It's like Star Wars. It's fine. There's also nothing else right now because we've watched everything else. And True Detective is too grim. It's good, but too grim. The original House of Cards is better than the new one.
Really? Really?
Aren't you watching The Mandalorian? I did watch The Mandalorian, but also The Mandalorian, while having good characters, kind of sucked. Really bad writing. Andor was really good.
The online left is cooked.
Andor was really good. Actually, it's funny. I got into a fight with some people on the Chernobyl subreddit because I mistook it for the show one. It's so stupid. But we just got into a back and forth where it's like, why are you guys being so pretentious assholes? I got the wrong subreddit. I'm in the wrong. It's my fault. It's my pathology. I have to fight. But it's funny. I got into a fight with the author of Annihilation, Jeff Vandermeer, a long while ago. Because he's kind of a fart sniffer, in a way. He was defending the film.
Is this what I'm supposed to do? To have 200 live viewers? Is this what I'm supposed to do? Well, you know, I went to the cinema lately, and well, I actually didn't go to the cinema. I don't go to the cinema. But do you know what I do? I walk Fido. Fido has started limping recently because there is a lot of snow outside, and there's a lot of salt, which people throw not to slip, and that's you know, all that salt and all that snow, which is very cold, hurt my dog's paw, and that is why he is limping right now. And so when I go for walks, I cannot go for very long walks. I have a special ointment that I use on my dog's paws, and I do it every time, every day. And I also have a special thing that I put on his paws so that he doesn't hurt when he's outside. And then I also wash his paws every time that I think so. I think it's great. I also wash his paws every time I come back from my walks. What does that have to do with anything that I'm talking about right now? What does that have to do with the online left being cooked? What does that have to do with anything? Nothing. But apparently, the road to success is just start rambling randomly about whatever comes to your mind and leave it in. Leave it in the segment. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a segment about a new offensive or Russia striking Kyiv, and in the middle of it, I'm gonna start talking about the new season of I've been watching My Hero Academia lately. I just finished season 6. The video accurately demonstrates why the only left is cooked. Good job, Lucy. Thank you. I'm growing as a leftist. Okay, I'm growing as a leftist channel now. I really like the Endeavor arc. Okay, I really like how Endeavor had these memories of having a dream where his family is having a nice dinner, but he's never with the family, and he was feeling sad because he was feeling that he was missing out on his family life, and then he cried and it was all sad. I really enjoy Endeavor's arc. Is that what I'm supposed to do during my political segments? Talk about shows that I watch? I also really enjoyed the arc of Katjan, the explosion guy that bullied the protagonist at the beginning of the series. He bullied him, and then he has like a heartfelt moment with him in season 6, and I was like, oh my god, that was so beautiful. I'm not gonna spoil it because none of you probably watched My Hero Academia, but I'm not gonna spoil it. It's great, and I've been enjoying it. There's no partner with me here, so I've not been watching it with my partner. Okay? But yeah. Here you go. Have I done it? Have I done the leftism? Is this leftism done right?
Oh, the crawler. The crawler is that thing inside the lighthouse at the end of the movie.
Oh, thank you for spoiling the end of the movie for me. Thank you, President Sunday. At least I had the good sense not to spoil the entirety of My Hero Academia to people.
That's that rendition of the crawler, which my response is, but this doesn't have any of the features of the crawler. This, if anything, has more of the features of the door. The crawler isn't actually there. We never see the crawler.
Thanks. Now there's no point in me watching the movie anymore. Thank you.
So in Annihilation,
I came here to learn why the online left is cooked, but instead I got spoiled on a movie.
The crawler is a being that is an assimilated lighthouse worker that is sort of crawling down.
And why don't you just, summarize the entirety of the movie? Why don't you, including the ending? Thank you, President Sunday, for that. That's wonderful. That is so nice of you.
A seemingly endless spiral stairway, and leaving in its wake strange theological seeming...
Okay, this should have timestamps on the timeline, okay? It should say, now this is a ramble about something totally different, so click here to skip it.
Script in, like, plant life behind it. What is it? It's like, here lies the strangling fruit, or something like that. And at the end of the movie, the main character goes to a lighthouse, because the revelation later on is that the spiraling tunnel in which the crawler is situated is actually
and it skips to the last 5 seconds.
Kind of weird spatial inversion of a lighthouse that's somewhere else, right?
Also, I love how an Asmongold fan goes to my video where I didn't even criticize Asmongold and says, "Yikes, you're so ugly," and I'm like, really? An Asmongold fan is gonna go at me for that? I couldn't watch your video. You're too ugly.
They go to a lighthouse after sort of traversing a stalker type zone, and they end up in this little like hollow area under it where a meteor fell, and there's this weird 4-dimensional thing that ends up sucking out the essence of one of the other members of the expedition team that's sort of going into this zone.
Expedition 33?
Called the zone in this. And then it turns into a mimic of...
Okay, is he actually going to narrate the whole bit? Is he actually going to narrate the entirety of the movie? Like, really? Really, truly? For reals?
The main character, Natalie Portman. And then something happens. And it's very bad. The Annihilation film is very bad. It's just Stalker, but thoughtless. Well cast. I love the actors. I don't know why they got Benedict Wong just to stand there periodically in a hazmat suit, but I like Benedict Wong. It was a bad movie. It was fine. First time you watch it, it's good.
Yeah, I really want to hear about a summary of a bad movie when I watch a video about why the online left is cooked.
I wouldn't say it's a bad movie. That's a bad way to put it. It's a very bad rendition of Annihilation. It's a middling version of Stalker or Roadside Picnic, and it takes more from Roadside Picnic than it does from the Area X trilogy. The soundtrack's good. Any opinions on the amazing TikTok writing that is Stranger Things? I'm gonna be real with you guys. As someone who is a big fan of It, like the novel, and a big fan of the It TV show, which came out.
Sus. It is very suspicious to be a fan of the It novel. Very suspicious, especially because of that one scene. I'm canceling President Sunday over this take.
And It Part 1. It Part 2, well cast, garbage writing. It Part 1, okay.
Was President Sunday mad that not the entirety of It Part 2 was adopted? Why you gotta do that? Because it's true.
Once again, like well cast, okay. What was there was good. It should have been a show. The It TV show, Welcome to Derry, exquisite. One of the best horror film. One of the best.
It's not my fault that there's a scene and it's.
Period. Full stop. Some of the most poignant moments in TV. Full stop. As someone who really enjoys that whole type of thing, I rewatched E.T. recently on Halloween. I really like that one. I still really like E.T. I was bored to tears with Stranger Things, and that's season 1, before it got bad. I had no interest in it. And what I've seen of the later seasons is just like, okay. Also, I'm like a 90s kid, so like I was already saturated in the 80s nostalgia stuff for my childhood. Because this is the thing people don't understand. 90s nostalgia is basically just latent 80s nostalgia. The stuff you're nostalgic for as a 90s kid is nostalgia bait for 80s kids. I couldn't stand Stranger Things. I was
What is the scene? I've never read the book. It's the little girlfriend of all the boys when they were kids having an orgy in the sewers with them. Basically, after they defeated the It monster as kids. Basically, the little girl has sex with all the boys one by one. And that is how they find the power, because they got lost in the sewers or something. And by the power of all of them having sex with this one girl, they find the magic to get out of the source. And then she grows up and marries an abusive alcoholic or something. Estelle says, don't you understand? It's crucial to their character development. Just there to watch a trash fire. Also never watched Stranger Things. I've never watched it either. Always thought it was a show for kids. I still don't know what it's about. I don't know what it's about either. Socialix. No wonder Stephen King is dodgy on Epstein. So, yeah, there you go. It's a very... as you may imagine, that scene has never been adapted in any It adaptation. There's no sewer orgy scene in adaptations. I wonder why.
Bored by it. I like the cast. I was bored by it.
And it's described in great detail, by the way. The whole scene is described in great detail, just so clear. Oh, somebody in the people in the audience pointed that out. Just as I said it, people in the audience pointed out that it's really, really detailed.
And nostalgia-based media, it's not good.
So I'm gonna cancel President Sunday for being like, It Part 1 was adapted well, but It Part 2 was not adapted well. I'm like, wait, which part? Which part was not adapted well?
It's just not good. I really like Grafton Tanner's work on nostalgia.
Hello, wait, you just arrived here, Greater Rain? You've been betraying me for all this time and you've just arrived? I just saw hello in the side chat.
And actually we were talking
Greater Rain has betrayed me tonight.
about this on the Patreon recently as well. I'm not showing the Patreon, just I do theory streams on the Patreon, so I talk about stuff on the Patreon germane to this. We were looking at sort of a more chill stream. We were looking at like pool rooms horror videos. And they make use of a lot of what we tend to associate with nostalgia, but it's not really. See? As I've been reading a lot of Nietzsche recently because philosophy tube got Nietzsche really badly, so I decided I'm going to go back. I'm going to read all of the stuff by Nietzsche that I have available to me. Right. It's a work in progress, but
I still don't know what that has to do with the online left being cooked. But okay, you reread the entirety of Nietzsche. I just cannot believe this. I remind you that this is still a video on why the online left is cooked.
Read a lot. So I know more about Nietzsche now than 99% of people on Earth, which is not a boast because most people don't know anything about Nietzsche. Nietzscheans on YouTube are terrible. It hurts to say this. Essential Salts doesn't...
It's not media opinions. It's why the online left is cooked. That is the video, okay? I'm not here for President Sunday media opinions, actually. I'm here to learn why the online left is cooked. But President Sunday has decided to go on a whole weird side tangent, and his editor never felt that it could be necessary to cut it out. To edit it out of his video titled The Online Left is Cooked. Is this still the video about the left? Yeah, it is. The Greater Rain is not having this. Greater Rain is like, I'm thinking about betraying you again because you're watching President Sunday and it's media opinions. Yeah, it is. I'm not joking. It's not a joke. Look at the title. The Online Left is Cooked.
Like at all. Bless his heart. I think he's trying. I think he's sincere. I don't think he's stupid. But he doesn't understand Nietzsche at all. Everybody you watched on YouTube talk about Nietzsche doesn't understand Nietzsche. But
You see that everybody that you've watched online talking about Nietzsche doesn't understand Nietzsche. You are online. I watched you. You talk about Nietzsche, so you don't understand Nietzsche.
When I think of the concept of the eternal return of everything as a thought experiment, everything recurring, I am filled with dread. Not because there aren't a lot of things that would make, at least from my little perspective from the world, worth a repetition, you know? It's that I also remember how miserable and awful it was. And as I reflect on what 90s nostalgia is, for example, I'm more and more
Fuck me, man.
led to the idea that what we are actually nostalgic for is nothing from the 90s. What we are nostalgic for is a healthy period without noise, for which we only remember the after effects.
Well, you know what? Thank God. I guess this is the moment when I say, thank God that that I never had a healthy, quiet period without noise. Thanks to which I don't feel any nostalgia for the 90s, 80s, or whatever else, okay? I don't feel nostalgia because there was never a quiet, nice period, okay? There you go.
One of the things that the pool rooms genre of sort of analog horror
And
does
I hate listening to people ramble about nostalgia as well.
really well is it recreates
That was me getting annoyed.
the experience of having zero connection to any other human or any other mind while you traverse an environment. And that is a thing that we don't have a lot of experience of today, and it's really important. It gives you the opportunity for loneliness and boredom, which is really important for allowing your brain to wander and do things without constant external stimuli. And that's not pleasant, by the way. A lot of the time, that is spooky and eerie and lonely and boring. And when you were a kid in the 90s, you hated it. Which
What?
is why you became so easily addicted to the internet and whatnot, because it gave you a reprieve from that. And you never went back to it unless your
What? No.
phone died. And you have that brief return to the world, right?
No, wrong.
People don't remember what it was like as a kid to have to go outside and walk down the street to meet a new person.
I do remember that. That's literally how I started the whole journalism thing in Ukraine. Okay? I literally just started walking to orgs on foot from the street and saying, "Hey, can I interview you guys with my little phone?" That is literally what I did. Pretty cool now that I think about it. It started with that, and look, now I'm actually doing things. And yes, President Sunday is lost in the sauce here.
Or what it was like to be walking home every single day without any contact with the world. You
What the fuck does that mean? Walking home on foot without any contact with the world.
only learned about stuff that happened when you turned on the news at night, and it was
That's what that means.
always late. And that was different. It had a different impact on you psychologically. I'm seeing a lot of articles about how kids today aren't reading whole books, and that's terrible. And I'm of two minds about this, because on the one hand, I think it's a really good thing when people take an interest in intellectual stuff or in art and then get absorbed in it and read stuff. And
This has long gone off the rails. This has long have not been about why the online left is cooked. This hasn't it?
look at stuff and make stuff. On the other hand, all I'm thinking is, You guys still remember that reading is not natural, right? This isn't a thing we evolved to benefit from. This is a thing we do under perverse conditions in which we are able to artificially construct immense virtual domains of knowledge and activity.
Yeah, but by that logic, just letting your mind wander and being bored is also not natural, okay? That's also not natural. We also did not evolve to just sit on our asses and be bored and not and have a lot of time on our hands. We were evolved to be in constant alert mode to danger, to all the time use our brain that associates things together to avoid danger and survive another day and not being eaten by a tiger. Okay? Like we definitely did not evolve to just sit and, oh, I'm bored. But you know what? Thanks to that, my mind is able to wonder about things. No.
Because we've been conditioned by a whole host of other things. Like this isn't like, there isn't a one-to-one relationship between reading lots and health. Or reading lots and freedom, right? Which as someone who really likes books, like, let me tell you,
yeah, but saying it's a shame that kids don't read full books is not the same as saying reading books will lead to children's health. I have no idea where that leap came from. It's just, this is a very weird bit of the video about why the online left is cooked, okay? A very strange bit.
Reason why
Also, since when are we going by what's supposed to be natural? Living in an apartment is not natural. We did not evolve to live in an apartment and have central heating.
I don't think it's actually important that everybody just reads all the time. It's not actually healthy for you. It's exhausting. Studying all the time is exhausting. Look at the mental illness and suicide rates at college campuses. It's not good. There's a reason for this.
Yeah, but that doesn't have to do with reading itself inherently. It has to do with the pressures that I put on you in a college environment, depending on how demanding the curriculum is. Tests, deadlines, wanting to succeed, wanting to be the best in your group, not wanting to fail. Those are all the things that contribute to that. Not just the fact, oh, we give you stuff to read and reading stresses you out. Titan and answer visual. Most primates remain alert but spend about 20 hours a week ensuring food and shelter necessities, and you'll find most humans living in relatively small tribes spend a similar amount. The traditional time humans spent in those circumstances were spent making tools from pottery. Yeah, but there were also times where humans basically did not have communities and also almost went extinct.
And it's not just capitalism, it's the amount of work you have to do in order to push the envelope to be something useful in that sense.
And also a bunch of human-like alternatives just died off, killed by the tiger.
Scenario. And I don't think the cost is always worth it. So, and I mean, I believe me, I know, because my job now is basically just constantly being late for written essay assignments. That's my life. Remember that time you felt just sick as hell because you were up till 5 a.m. finishing that term paper? Yeah, what if you just did that every week? Yeah, that sounds fun. That sounds fun.
Yeah, but okay, I hate to be that person, but that just feels like a problem with time management and organization. I hate to be that person.
Let's do that. And it is fun. I'm not complaining, but it's not good for you.
Last known genetic bottleneck was about 70k years ago. Do you know how short that time period is in relation to the age of the Earth, etc., etc.? Do you realize how short of a period 70k years is? It's like a droplet in the bucket. It's like a snap of the fingers.
And I think that's fundamentally what that kind of material is actually throwing back at us. It's not, hey, do you remember D&D? Hey, do you remember that's boring. We know it's boring because you just do it otherwise. And if you do it, it's not boring, and it's not in your past, it's in your present.
What?
Also, by the way, real 90s nostalgia is not being nostalgic for D&D. It's being nostalgic for your parents thinking D&D was of the devil.
What?
Okay? It's for when Doom...
And they bred in, but they're only a fraction of a fraction of a fraction in them, of them in us.
was banned. It's for when Pokemon cards were a gateway
It's mega short. 70k years is mega short.
into the occult. That's nostalgia.
No, it's not.
But I digress.
You do.
Here's the
Yeah,
point.
I know you digress. Oh my god. That's an understatement of a century. Oh my god. Yeah, but I digress.
Of this brief stream today, because I am, as always, incredibly sick. Okay, mostly because of the holidays, and I've got a bunch of siblings with kids. So I get every single disease that's going through the school system.
Oh god.
Plus, I work indoors, so I'm especially vulnerable to it. We are starting a project on my channel. Still haven't worked out a name for it yet, but we are doing a extensive research project with a group in which we are digging into the history of the last decade or so, and we are figuring out how we got to where we are. Specifically with, we're starting off with focusing on sort of like skeptic and leftist organizations, how they became pro-trans, how they became hostile to trans people afterwards, how we got...
Well, I'll actually... I can give you a brief timeline. It all started with anti-religion debates, and when that dried up, it became all these people kind of migrated from debating religion and debating religious people to making fun of HJWs, and then it went on from there. Yeah.
To this particular situation where all of these different leftist groups came together, got a bunch of success, had wild growth, and then suddenly contracted to become a...
The Neanderthals and Denisovians wouldn't have had much distinctiveness from other proto-sapiens, not with that attitude.
Essentially just conservative light. How did we do that? We're starting to go into that. I really want to start networking with other small leftist channels, and I want those small leftist channels to start networking together. I'm an acquired taste. I don't expect to be popular with all these people, but you guys need to start doing that together as well.
I need to have distinct tastes. Listen, the point that I was making was that many things are not natural, and going by what's not natural is not exactly the way to go, okay?
The ecosystem is completely hostile to actual leftists, and there's a reason for this. Leftists critique power. Leftism is a constant critique of power. Power is on the side of capital.
There, we're back on topic. Okay, we're back.
Capital is aligned with them. And it's like we've all kind of forgotten. Remember when Vosh would like criticize people all the time for being like class reductionists?
Yes.
What do you mean they're not on your side? They're of a different class. Grain
Sorry, but genetics is my deal. Oh.
of truth to this again. People can't necessarily choose their class in that way. If somebody offers you power, take it. If somebody offers you help, they are not your enemy. It doesn't matter what their political alignment is. If somebody is giving you, if a fascist is offering you the opportunity, a fascist, by the way, is offering you the opportunity to make a bold public statement on your side to help your side. Caveats out the to the roof. But if that's all that's happening, if you find it to a point, take it, do it, use it. What's not your enemy is your ally. However, flip side to this, do not invest your power in a fascist or in a liberal because they will say they're on your side for the time being if you do so. And don't allow yourself to become dependent on that handout by a fascist. Because the result of it will be you are them. If your belly is filled, because
my belly is not filled, okay? My belly is so far from being filled. It's,
stick your mouth onto a tube that they control, you will belong to them. So look side to side and start building up with small people.
like Lucy Haze, which I will remind you, President Sunday has not named as one of the good channels, which I will remember forever. I will remember this betrayal by President Sunday.
And become big by the association. And like with Machiavelli, find your strength in the people themselves, because it's there.
Yeah, you are my people. Titan is my people. Kuyutekos is my people. Even Greater Aim that has betrayed me is my people.
But
Stel is my people. Zocialix is my people.
If you allow yourself into that cynical mindset where, well, we need to make use of the top-down powers that exist, because that's all that's there to use, A, that's all that there will ever be to use, and B, once again, people like Vosh, people like Hassan, who are captured by capital, will now own you. They will now own you. Even if, and Vosh is a great example of this, even if they allow the most toxic elements of, say, the trans community to bully other people in their server for not being pure enough as a self-policing measure to protect their own brand.
I don't know what he is referring to here. Honestly, I don't know. If anybody in the audience knows what he is referring to here, then let me know.
We've seen this as well, right? Here's the secret. All those people online, all those SJW types who were assholes to strangers because it made them feel strong, why were they permitted by people who also complained about them? Like Vosh did. Vosh referred to them as subhuman in the past.
What?
Well, because if they are under the delusion that, you know, you're their guy, those people will bully people who bully you, who criticize you, and they become white blood cells. Start building horizontally.
I am. Maybe.
You will notice that, like, a whole lot of big conservative voices, right? A lot of big right-wing voices.
Yeah.
I was covering a video. I wasn't really covering it for Sargon, but Sargon was Sargon and Asmongold had published responses to a conversation with that weird natalist couple that Elon Musk really likes, the ones that beat their kids. And people were commenting like, "Why are we still talking about Sargon?" It's like, have you seen the views on this? Lots of people are talking about Sargon. What's changed is that Sargon isn't talking about you. They don't need you anymore. They've ascended to a higher tier. Those communities are huge. Huge. But once they grew to a certain point, that scale ended up protecting itself. Same with leftists now, you may have noticed. They've stopped interacting. They don't build up or support each other, the big ones. They don't build up or support each other. They don't even allow people in who directly support them. They don't even allow in toadies. Why? They don't need them. every single peer is a danger to their own supremacy and their little fiefdom. Because they aren't leftists. Leftism was a niche that they used to market themselves. And it just sort of stuck after.
I market myself. Apparently, I don't market myself much at all.
It's because that's where they came from. Destiny is a prime example of this.
I feel like this is referring to a very specific drama amongst content creators and fandoms that would go over the average person's head.
Actually,
True.
you want to know what's weird about this? Destiny is weirdly better than a lot of them. As a genocide supporter, he's weirdly better than a lot. Why? Because he deigned to talk to his peers.
Uh-oh.
He still had some connection with his community. He wasn't just on the top of it. He is now, but for a brief span of time, he wasn't. Now of course he's got a bunch of people sort of dogmatically defending him because he's in court, because he's a sex, insert other verb there. There are a lot of good leftists out there. They're small. Start linking them together. If you know other leftist channels that are not huge, and by the way, by huge, I don't mean, by big, I don't mean like 100,000 subscribers. I mean people who have like thousands of people concurrently following them, people who are networking with mainstream figures or who are attempting to. I mean people who aren't at that level.
Okay.
I think No Justice has like 50,000 subscribers. She's small, right?
She's big. What do you mean?
Start telling them to network with each other. Start bugging them to start talking to each other.
Wait, lead by example, President Sunday. Talk to me.
Even if they aren't perfect.
I'm not perfect.
Because there's a flip side to this, which is...
Or am I?
We, as the mass of the normies, have to be capable of educating ourselves, and we do so by getting into community with each other, not by isolating each other based on not articulating something perfectly. Look for people and judge them by what they are aiming at. Look at, are they trying to learn?
Like me.
Are they attempting to imitate the appearance of somebody else, or are they trying to learn? So, by the way, I just earlier said that Essential Salts doesn't understand Nietzsche at all. I like Essential Salts. I think he's the real deal. Why? Because I don't think he understands Nietzsche. I don't think he understands how to read Nietzsche. I think his attitude towards reading is naive. But I think he's trying. I think he's legitimately trying. I don't think he's doing a good job, but I think he's legitimately trying. And I think that counts for a lot. That this is a real person that you can engage with. This is a person who, if they were able to talk to people who could tell them how to do things, they would self-correct and they'd be great.
What about me? Oh.
But start pulling these people together, because as it is, the left is dead. The left as an online project doesn't exist.
Oh.
And everybody's saying...
Wait, I'm here. What do you mean? I'm like the all might of the left. Like, I'm here. Everything is okay because I'm here.
Donnie's in. Look, everyone who was equivocating between that. There was a Jacobin article talking about how the left is rebuilding its institutional basis. Everyone who is equivocating between that and the left having resurgence, that is the
Is a
warning
class
sign
traitor.
that we are in big trouble.
Is a class traitor.
Big trouble. We'll make a mouthwashing analogy. Everybody talks about the board game as if it was signifying, because there's a little Ludo game in mouthwashing, right? Everybody talks about the board game as if it's signaling when characters are dead. No. It's a board game.
A board game.
You want to keep the game going. Fewer and fewer players, the game has fewer and fewer possibilities, but you want to keep the game going. You want to prolong
the game.
They're still talking about it like it's a board game. It's just a game, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I can still fix it. I can still fix it. So people talk about mouthwashing like it's about taking personal responsibility.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
Oh.
not about responsibility at all. It's actually a really good play with some really bad game mechanics, but it's a really good play.
Okay.
It's about looking at things as if the end is what matters and not the actual stuff, not the actual relationships, as if the end is what matters. Because the entire premise of the story is, well, it's okay, we'll make it end on a good note. Lisa, thanks to the 1 gifted membership. Also, please don't gift memberships if guys, listen. A lot of people are hurting right now. I've got a Patreon if you want to help with the support the channel. My rule is only donate out of abundance.
I have metrics based on vibes.
And if you appreciate the content, never donate because you think it's important, okay? I do appreciate that, though. Who got the membership? Wicked Radiation, nice.
Oh, that's it? Okay. We're gonna play a game a bit. I promise to play a game, okay? I promise this to you. I especially promise this to... Who is here now? I promise this to Polyphonia. Well, Polyphonica, okay? I promise this to you, Polyphonica, and I will... Why did he include all that? It's because... Yeah, he included all that and did not mention me as the good channel. Okay? Like, what the hell, President Sunday? What the actual hell? You know? I've never felt so betrayed in my entire life, okay? Have you ever felt so betrayed, Estelle? Please tell me. Why am I so betrayed by... You know? Yeah, I'm loading the save now. We're doing this. Yeah, Matthew. Oh yeah. Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do now? Wait, what was I supposed to actually do? I don't remember what I was supposed to do anymore. Ah, yeah, I remember. I was supposed to go to the east. I'm sorry, please leave. I am never leaving. I am your mother. I am your lover. I am the purpose of your purchase. I am the glove to your bove, to your dove. I am the moisture to your oyster. You get the gist, right? I got so many beautiful party members. It's incredible. I'm fighting dogs. Fight me, doggy boy. Look at this. Is the game loud enough? Is the loudness of the game enough for your senses? Louder? Louder with Crowder? Okay, louder with Crowder it is. It's louder now. Is it now loud enough? What? I just want to take a little look inside, says Templeton. Don't be stupid, kid. Buzz off before you get hurt. I told you, I'm just trying to update my map. Get the hell out of here. Ah. Little bastard, he kicked me. I swear, people around here have really got an attitude. Huh, what are you guys? Oh, so you guys got kicked out? I see, man. All this stuff going on lately just means I have to keep changing my map. Map? Oh yeah, I'm Templeton, a cartographer. I'm trying to create a map of this area, but I can't keep up with all the changes. Sorry, but I'm sort of in a rush. Maybe I'll see you again. Okay, Give me a map, you little bastard. Also, why are you pissing? Estelle. Window sleep. Wow, Ruined City has stuff in it. Wait, what am I supposed to do? I have to Google because I forgot. Suikoden. What are you supposed to do right after obtaining a base? In story. In SUIKODEN2. Okay, that useless. Why are you pissing? Also, I should go piss. Speaking of taking a piss, I'll be right back. I'm back. Welcome. Whoa. There should be a what am I supposed to do now button in Suikoden. Why? This is horrible. I thought I'd never seen anything but this, but so the Hell Knight Army did this. Yeah. You said before that you were driven out of that fort. Are you fighting the Highland Army? That's right. Really? In that case, I'll fight them with you. I can't let them ruin everything I've gone through the trouble of mapping. Map guy has... Oh. I've got a map now. Look, we've got a map. They fixed the stairs in this game. Bonjour. Bonjour. Pojdo. Pojdo. How is the stream? I'm just here for a crash fire. I don't know, at least when I do a segment, I actually stick to the segment. To the best of my ability, okay? I don't talk about the 90s nostalgia or whatever. It. Bonjour. Bonjour. Bush bush. Where is Stallion? Oh, I'm gonna recruit you. Hey, good luck out there. Oh, thanks. Recruit. Welcome. Why can't I recruit you? Stallion, join me. Pardon? Oh, wrong city. Or is it? Hold on. No co? Co jest, Busiu? No co? Busiu? Hello. Oh, I can upgrade. Co? Co się dzieje? No co? To jest fajda. No co? Chcesz, żeby trochę. I might have to finish stream soon because my dog wants me to walk him now, I think. He's demanding it. No? Chodź, fajda, chodź. I think he's demanding to be walked now. Ale to jeszcze streamuje. Yeah, we'll be finishing stream soon. We haven't played a lot of the game, but you know what? It happens. I have to walk by them. Boom. Can you see him? What am I supposed to do? Let's check what I'm supposed to do, at least. Oh, I was supposed to go here. But that's what I was just supposed to return here. Okay, so we're gonna do this next time. Right now I have to finish stream. I don't know, raid you to someone. Okay? And, you know, hopefully we will be raided next time, okay? Alright, Riverboat Jack. Thank you. I'll see you later. Bye bye. Good night. It was a lovely stream.